Hello, my name is Brandon Cordell, and this is my tree project for Biology Lab 101. So I hypothesized that the maple tree that I was studying would change colors before the apple tree. I based this hypothesis off the fact that it had already shown signs of color change, and based off this hypothesis, I also hypothesized that the maple tree would lose its leaves first. Now, the method for testing whether the maple tree would change colors first, I took photographs every week, and the trees were located right outside of my dorm on my walk to biology lab, so I'd try to take them the same time of day that morning on my walk to biology lab. And then I'd use this color chart here to best give them a number so that we can have a measurement to compare. And I try my best. I'm slightly colorblind, so that could affect results, as well as, some leaves can be red and yellow, so I just tried to pick the number I thought best represented that as well. The first picture I got was September 1st, and here is my apple tree that I was taking pictures of. It is 1847, so listed on the map. It is an apple tree, and I ranked the color as 2 here because it was pretty much just green still here. And while the maple tree here, 2519, it's a Deborah, I believe that's how you pronounce it, Norway maple tree. I had it listed as a color 8 here. By the time we started collecting data, this tree, as well as other maple trees I was seeing around campus, were already very red. September 8th, we'd got just a little bit of a dusting of snow. Thought this could have some effect on the leaf color, maybe. Still, so far, apple trees looking very green. I listed as a color of 2 still, and the maple at a color of 8. September 15th, started to see noticeably more color change on the tree here. I also noticed as it started to change color that the side on the east would change colors first here because it had more sunlight, is what I'm hypothesizing or guessing here, because in the later time of day this side of the tree would be shaded by Woodburn Hall. Still just a color of 8 for the maple. It's just holding in strong, staying right there at a color of 8. Nice red. September 22nd, not a whole lot of change. The maple got a little bit of a color change. Some might not have noticed, but some of the leaves just looked a little bit different from the other leaves on it, so I could tell there's a difference that way. And from September 22nd to September 29th, again, there's just a slow, steady change here in the apple tree. It's just continuing to steadily get a little bit more and more different colored leaves, while the maple tree here is just holding on to that 8.5 now. It's still just a dark, vibrant red. October 5th, colored a 4 for the apple tree. Starting to notice most of the leaves now are different color. They're all changing, and there's a lot of different colors in there, but I thought a 4 represented it the best at this point. And the maple tree here is about as dark as it can get. It's a very dark 9 right now. Now here you can see it's starting to lose some of its leaves here on the apple tree. We've got some reds in there, a lot of yellow and orange. So I have it listed here as a 4.5. Well, the maple here is just staying at that 9. It's not losing its leaves yet. They're not dying, not really dying quite yet, but still as dark as I think they can get right now with a 9. Then October 17th, we'd had some heavy winds and stuff, as you can see by all the leaves and debris here in the grass. So it knocked most of the leaves off the apple tree, and what's left is just barely holding on. So I have it there as 10 because that's a pretty well winterized tree. The maple, though, held on to its leaves through all the wind. They've still got a little bit left to them, so they're still at a 9. October 19th, I got these pictures close together just because I wanted to document the snowstorm here and see what effect that might have on the maple tree. So this is just to document that there's some snow on the ground. And then this was as soon as the snow went away and had melted, and there's still not really much leaves have been lost off the maple tree. They're still holding on pretty strong. November 4th, they're starting to die a little bit. You can see they're starting to shrivel up on a few of them. And then it wasn't until November 16th when it finally decided to lose most of its leaves for the winter. So, in conclusion, the maple tree was the first tree to change color. I made that hypothesis based upon the fact that I could see signs of color change at the beginning of the experiment, and that did hold true. It did change to red by the time I started collecting data. But the maple tree did not lose its leaves first. It held on to its leaves way longer than the apple tree. So from this, I've found out that it doesn't, changing colors of leaves does not always correlate to losing the leaves faster. So my main hypothesis for as far as the leaves changing colors was supported by the original hypothesis.